Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm Mark Bradberry. Please take a moment to like my video or perhaps subscribe to my YouTube channel. But in the meantime, why don't you grab a cup and join me this morning? Hey, funny pet videos. Yeah, you've all seen them. There must be thousands of them on YouTube. Yeah, the kind of thing I'm talking about is, that dog or cat video in which the pet appears to be talking to its owner, or the wild animal videos in which all of these creatures are engaged in animated conversations that are just hilarious. It's all this wonderful stuff. One of my absolute favorites, has received 203 million registered views. Wow! All of those people engaged to watch a video of a dog doing what a dog does, just augmented by a human voiceover. It's a total waste of time, but they're hilarious and they're kind of fun to watch. For myself, I would be happy if I got just a few hundred views. It would make my day. Maybe I should go out and record a squirrel or something in the yard and then just add some words to it. Maybe next time. But, for now, I just kind of wonder, what would it be like? What would it be like for your pet to talk to you? And I don't mean cutesy stuff. I'm not talking about just this lighthearted banter to give a joke. I'm talking about what if your pet really said something serious to you? We all talk to our pets. It's just something that we do. What if one day while you were talking to your pet about your latest ethical dilemma, there's some situation you're facing where you're trying to decide what is right or wrong. What if your pet actually said, well, and while you're picking yourself up off the floor, your dog or your cat sits there on its haunches and it says, well, I've been watching you, and I don't really like to talk a lot, but this thing you're thinking about doing, well, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. It would certainly get your attention, right? Well, it wouldn't be the first time that something like that had happened. No, not at all. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. You may not know the story, but I guarantee you that you know the lesson. The book of Numbers in the Old Testament relates this very curious tale of a man named Balaam and of a very curious conversation that he had as well. And here's what it's about. See, Balaam was a pagan sorcerer, a diviner. He was looking at all of these gods of the ancient times, and he saw the God of Israel as just another god that he could manipulate. Well, Balaam was in for a big surprise. As the story goes, it's set up as this was after the time of the Exodus. It was, this time in which Israel had left Egypt and they were moving into the promised land to take possession of it. Well, Balaam was called upon by King Balak, who was the king of Moab, one of the nations of the area, and he was called for a particular mission. That is, he was to put a curse on Israel as they battled to take possession of their promised land. King Balak was understandably worried. But you see, God was having none of this because Israel was blessed. That's right. So God had revealed to Balaam that he could travel to Moab, not to curse Israel, but to speak instead at the discretion of the Lord. So Balaam went. But God knew that Balaam's motives were not pure. God knew the wrong that was in Balaam's heart. And he confronted Balaam along the road. Now, the story says that Balaam got up one morning and he saddled his donkey, an ass, if you will, a very common and proverbially stupid and stubborn animal, and he headed out. And it wasn't long before they encountered an angel of the Lord was standing in the middle of the road with a sword in his hand. Well, the donkey saw the angel and stopped dead in his tracks. But Balaam didn't see the angel at all. You see, it was invisible to him. And he beat the donkey to get it going again. Well, they got on down the road, and a little bit further along a narrow walled path, they encountered the angel once again. And once more, Balaam didn't see the angel, but the donkey, all too aware of this intimidating angel, tried to squeeze by alongside one of the walls, and he kind of smushed Balaam's foot in the process. Oh, Balaam beat the poor donkey again. A third time, down the road at a very narrow place where they couldn't turn around, the angel again blocked the road, and the donkey, seeing the angel once again, just gave up, and he wisely lay down in the road right beneath Balaam. Balaam got angry, and he beat the tar out of that poor, unfortunate donkey. This time, though, the donkey looked at him, and the Lord caused it to speak. And he said something like, hey, what did I ever do to you to deserve this? Are you stupid or something? Am I not your very own donkey? At that point, the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he too saw the angel standing there in the road with that drawn sword, and Balaam fell face down on the ground right there beside the donkey. The angel said, why have you beaten your donkey? Are you crazy? I came to oppose you because your path is reckless. This donkey saved your life because if it had not stopped, I would have certainly killed you. What's Balaam thinking? What is going on? The God of Israel is not a God to be trifled with. Balaam said, oh gosh, I have sinned. I will turn back if that's what you want. And the angel said, no, that's not what I want. What I want you to do is to go on to Moab, but you are only to speak what I've told you to say. Now, there's a lot more to this story. There's a whole lot more to it. But there's a simple word for the wise I want to share with you today. Listen carefully when God gives you direction of your life. And, seek to do the right thing. And if you're traveling along the road and a poor old dumb stubborn donkey happens to give you a clue about what to do, pay attention, lest you make an ass of yourself. Enjoy your coffee.